Janmashtami Mahautsav ki. Thank you all again for coming to Vrindaban. So the next part of the program today is a bhajan and some Krishna Katha connected to the bhajan. Now, how many of you all speak Hindi or understand Hindi? Nice. And for course, the explanation will follow. So, this is a very simple bhajan. कृष्णा जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है. If you want to find that online, you can do that as well. कृष्णा जिनका नाम है. कृष्णा जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है. कृष्णा जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे श्री को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. यशोदा जिनकी मैया है, नंद जी भैया है. बोलिए, यशोदा जिनकी मैया है, नंद जी भैया है, ऐसे श्री गोपाल को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. ऐसे श्री गोपाल मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. कृष्णा जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे श्री भगवान को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. नाम है गोकुल जिनका, ऐसे श्री भगवान को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. राधा जिनकी छाया है, अद्भुत जिनकी माया है, ऐसे श्री घनश्याम को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. राधा जिनकी छाया है, अद्भुत जिनकी माया है, ऐसे श्री घनश्याम को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. लुट लुट दाती माखन खायो, ग्वाल बाल संग धेनु चरायो, ऐसे श्री धाम को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. लुट लुट दाती माखन खायो, ग्वाल बाल संग धेनु चरायो, ऐसे श्री धाम को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. कृष्णा जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे श्री भगवान को मेरा बार बार प्रणाम है। बोलिए कृष्णा जिनका गोकुल मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है। मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र, राधा वृंदावन चंद्र श्री राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ वासुदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परम डिवाइन सभा चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद जी की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंदी। बोलो जन्माष्टमी महाकी, न्यू वृंदावन धाम की, गौर प्रेमानंदे। So thank you all again for assembling here. We will have some Hari Katha now, and I will also kind of open up the forum to certain questions in between, and please feel free to answer them. One request, those children that are playing, where are the parents? Please take care of them. Either take them outside or to the children's playroom. No talking, playing during the Hari Katha. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we just sang one very popular bhajan. कृष्णा जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है. So Krishna, what does Krishna mean? All attractive. Thank you. The word in Sanskrit is a combination of two words. See, most of us that have assembled here are from the Sanatan Dharma, are from the Vedic background, and we very commonly call out the names of Krishna, etc. But do we know the actual meaning? And it would be so nice and wonderful to understand the meaning behind the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna Mata, Hari Bol. हरि कथा चल रहा है. So, as somebody just mentioned from the crowd, the word Krish plus Na equals Krishna. Krish means attractive and Na means all. So, the Supreme Lord has many names, but one of the most appropriate names in the scriptures, in the Vedic scriptures, is Krishna. And why is it? Because the word Krishna indicates all attractive. And the Supreme Lord or Krishna is indeed attracting everybody. He attracts not only the residents of Vraja, he attracts the birds, the animals, the bees. He attracts everyone in this creation, and that is why one of the most appropriate names of God is Krishna. So, this poet is saying, Krishna jinka naam hai. That personality whose name is Krishna. And Gokul jinka dham hai. And his home is Gokul. Now, the words are so simple, but sometimes if we expound on it, it becomes very, very interesting and attractive. So, what does Gokul mean? Again, this is a question open for everyone. You can raise your hands. Gokul jinka dham hai, the home of Krishna known as Gokul is known as. So, what does Gokul mean? Yes, behind I saw somebody's hand go up. What does Gokul mean? Loudly, please. No, Gurukul is different. So anybody else would like to try? What is the word meaning of the word Gokul?
The place where the cows are.
Very nice. So in Sanskrit, Go has more than one meaning. So one of the meanings His Grace Nityadit Prabhu mentioned is a place or a conglomeration, a group, a place where we find cows. In Sanskrit, Go means cows, Go means gopis, Go means gopas, Go means the senses. A place where the Go is known as Gokul. A place where all the gopas are is known as Gokul. A place where all the cows are is known as Gokul. Now, Gokul also is a combination of two words in Sanskrit, Go plus. So we explain the meaning of Go. Go means cows, gopis, gopas, and the senses or the indriyas is also known as Go. And Kul means a congregation, a place where a group resides. So Krishna जिनका नाम है, Gokul जिनका धाम है. Now, talking about Gokul, we all know this wonderful Leela. Even the little kids know that on Janmashtami night, Vasudeva and Devaki were already imprisoned. The sister of Kansa was Devaki. And when Devaki got married to Vasudeva, there was a Akashvani, or there was a predicament that came from the sky that, "Oh fool, oh Kansa, you are actually driving home your death." Kansa, as a beautiful brother, was driving the chariot of Devaki on the day of the wedding, after the wedding was done, and taking her to her husband's house, to Vasudeva's house. So it is the Vedic culture that the brother accompanies either the palanquin or the chariot, so that the sister doesn't feel so much separation from her own home, what is known as Vidai, right? So in those days, the brother used to accompany the sister, but this time, this very powerful demoniac king Kansa decided to play the role of a very common charioteer, a driver, taking his sister to her new home. And en route, there was this Akashwani, or the sound, a predicament that came from the air. "Kansa, you are a fool. You are actually bringing your death closer. The eighth child of your sister Devaki will be the cause of your death." So, immediately, Kansa, no matter how good a person appears, but a demon is still a demon. And he immediately caught her hair in public, pulled out his sword from his mane, and wanted to sever the head of Devaki. And Vasudeva and everybody was shocked, the whole crowd. And Vasudeva said, "My dear Kansa, please stop this heinous act. You are a great king. What will the people think, especially on the wedding day of your sister? You're ready to kill your own sister, who is just a very, very frail woman. And for a strong personality like you, it doesn't suit you. Please." And there was a very good dialogue. Actually, Vasudev gave a lot of wonderful philosophy to Kamsa based on the Shastras and tried to convince him. It is said in the Vedic scriptures, the Sama, Danda, Bheda, etc., when different points used in order to achieve a peace or achieve peace. Sometimes diplomacy is used. We do find that when there is wars between two countries, even today, what do they have now? The United Nations for diplomacy, for diplomatic dialogue. Similarly, diplomacy has been used since time immemorial to attain peace. So Vasudev used a lot of diplomacy. He used kind words. He used all kinds of different words to pacify the enraged Kansa. And but Kans would not listen. Finally, Vasudev thought that, how can I save my wife? And he told Kansa, "Look, Kansa, just got married, and it is the eighth child that is the one that this predicament came. Will be children or not, who knows? Sometimes the Devi Devtas, because they are your enemy, they sometimes send messages like that, and you may take the wrong action. So I promise you, if we have children, not only eight if it is predicted, but every child that is born to us, I will bring to that child to you personally. I promise you that. Now, Kansa knew one thing for sure, that Vasudev's word was as good as gold. If he said something, even at the expense of his life, he would abide by for it. Just like we find in the Raghuvamshis. रघुकुल नीति सदा चली आई प्राण जाए पर वचन ना जाए. So similarly, in the Yadukul, Vasudeva was known for his word, and that way the deadliest moment was averted. And Vasudeva convinced Kansa to let his sister go peacefully. So Vasudeva finally Kansa let her go and said, "That's fine. I know that you're a man of your word, and if that happens, if you have children, you will bring them to me." So he lets go Devki. Now, after a few months, the firstborn of Vasudeva and Devki happened, first child. And Vasudeva, very, very true to his word, he brought the firstborn with a very heavy heart to the palace of Kansa. Now remember one thing, at that time Vasudeva and Devki were not arrested by Kansa. Please, this is what the Shastras say, especially His Divine Prabhupada. Due to the very short time he had that he felt in this world, he wanted to give the best of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the Dasham Skanda or the 10th canto, in the form of Krishna. If you don't have one copy, please pick it up. There should be a small donation sticker on it. Please take one, especially on this most auspicious day of Krishna Janmashtami. Srila Prabhupada actually translated the entire 10th canto into a book called Krishna in a very, very simple language, in English and so many different languages all over the world. We can find Krishna. So I would highly encourage you, if you have it, gift it to somebody. And it will be, I'll believe it or not, one of the best storytelling books at bedtime. If your child here likes to hear some stories, what better story can we tell than from the scriptures, from the Vedic scriptures that will bring eternal benefit? So, coming back to this pastime, Vasudeva brought the first child to Kansa, to his palace, and said, "Kansa, as promised, here is the firstborn." And Kansa suddenly feels a lot of humiliation, pity, and a sort of a maternal uncle spirit within him. And he says, "Vasudeva, that's fine. I don't need your first child. Take him back. It's the 8th child that I am worried about and concerned. So you can take him back." So Vasudeva was perplexed. Internally, he was so happy, his heart was jumping with joy. But at the same time, he was very cautious. This personality that I'm speaking to is a big demon, a Rakshas. He can change his mind anytime, any moment. But nevertheless, let me take this child home before he changes his mind. And this child, with my wife Devki. So he goes home. And then what happens? Suddenly, Devrishi Naradji in the palace of Kansa. And Devrishi Naradji is offered a lot of respect. One will be surprised there are very few devotees in this creation who command the respect of not only devotees but also demons. So Naradji is such a personality that wherever he went, even the most vicious of the demons would call him and show him respects. One of the reasons why that is so is because such devotees like Naradji, they have no envy, zero envy. When one has zero envy in them, then they are highly qualified personalities who can do nothing but only good for the well-being of people at large. And we do have those such personalities in our Vaishnava Parampara, those six personalities that you see on the altar there next to the main altar. Srinivas Acharya has written a wonderful poem, a bhajan, glorifying the six Goswamis of Vrindaban. In that he says, Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuju Gopalako. In that he says, Dhira Dhira Jana Priya Karo Nirmatsaro Pujito. Dhira Adhira Jana Priya Karo Nirmatsaro Pujito. Dhira means devotees, gentlemanly people, and Adhira means ruffians, rascals, people who have no care in society or demoniac people. Dhira Adhira Jana Priya Karo. Such personalities, such Vaishnavas, sadhus are respected by the demons and the devotees very much. Dhira Dhira Jana Priya Karo. Priya means they are favorable. Why? Nirmatsaro Pujito. Nirmatsar means non-envious. And therefore, Pujito. Pujito means they are worshipable. So Naradji is one of our topmost leaders in our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. There are four Vaishnava Sampradayas. One Sampradaya, the bona fide Sampradayas, is from Lord Brahma. The second one is from Lakshmi Devi herself. Third one is from Rudra, from Shankar Mahadev, from Lord Shiva. And the fourth one is from the Kumaras, the four Kumaras. And all are bona fide Sampradayas. But His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and his followers, we belong to the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, in which Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, first gave the transcendental knowledge to Lord Brahma, the secondary creator. And Lord Brahma passed his knowledge as it is to his son Naradji. And then Naradji gave it to Vyasdev. Vyasdev in Parampara or in the disciplic succession to Sri Madhvacharya Pad. From Madhvacharya Pad, it came down to Sripad Ishwarpuri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, to Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakurji, Srila Bhakti Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, and Abhay Sharanaravind, the Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. So he is 32nd in the parampara. Krishna to Brahma to Madhvacharya to complete, he is the 32nd Acharya. So, Naradji, when he appeared, he told Kans. Kans offered him a very nice seat and said, Naradji, how can I serve you? And Naradji says, you are a fool, Kans. And Kans was completely angered. Like, how dare you? But he controlled himself because it was Naradji was present there. He says, yes, you just let go the first child of Vasudeva. Do you think that who are your enemies? It's the Devi Devatas who are your enemies, right? The demigods. Do you think they will ever speak the truth? What is the guarantee it will be the eighth child? Maybe they lied. It could be the first one. And not only that, in one version of this Katha or Leela, we hear that Naradji takes a round 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And then he turns it. And now he says, tell me which one is the. And Kansa is aghast. You are so right, Dev Rishi Naradji. He immediately summons his soldiers, arrest Devki and Vasudeva and bring them in front of me. Vasudeva and Devki are arrested, and along with their first child, they're brought in front of Kansa. Kansa says, put them in the dungeon, in the Karagraha. And follows them to the dungeon and grabs the firstborn from Devki's chest and takes it by its legs and smashes it on the walls of the dungeon. And like that, mercilessly, he kills 6 children, one after another, in front of Devki and Vasudeva. Can you imagine how painful that is? We are talking about torture, we are talking about terrorists, we're talking about terrorism. What level of terrorism would this be? To smash somebody's child, not only one child, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children, one after another. So our acharyas have commented, why did that happen? Why did a saintly person like Naradji incite such a heinous act? Makes sense? Some of us, we have seen when we were kids movies, and Naradji was portrayed in the movies as one of those persons who would always be carrying a matchstick, just an allegorical, an example, ready to set fire to anything and everything, or to basically create problems between two parties. That was this nature, but that is wrong. The people who made those movies, they have completely misdirected. There is a very, very deep reason behind every act of Naradji, which is completely transcendental and divya. So, can anybody think why Naradji would incite Kansa to arrest Vasudeva Devaki and kill the most innocent, almost just barely born kids, the boys of Vasudeva and Devaki? I remember I said that I will be asking questions in between. Please raise your hand if any one of you can kind of, and this is not a test. Because I'm sure you all have heard this katha many times, even in your childhood. But what is the real reason? And we are here today to learn so many things based on His Divine Graces, Prabhupada's books. Anybody? Okay. Considering the shortage of the time. By the way, this session will continue at 1 p.m. after the Aarti. So you are all requested again to assemble back, because we will be continuing Hari Katha from 12:30 to 1 p.m. There will be the Bhoga Arti. After that, we will continue the Katha, by the way. So the reason why Kansa, Naraji incited Kansa was he wanted the advent of the Supreme Lord to happen as soon as possible. He wanted to accelerate the birth of Krishna, the appearance of Krishna. For the devotee, from the Supreme Lord is considered a sort of a burning sensation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, wonderful teachings known as the Chaitanya Sastaka, which is the summum bonum of pure bhakti. He says in the 7th verse, Yugaitam nimishena chakshusha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is on the altar, when we are facing the altar on the left side, he is exactly on the immediate left of Krishna. And on that altar we find Gaur Nitai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, or in short, with love, the devotees call him Gaur. And his brother Nityananda Prabhu is known as Nitai. So when we do Kirtan, we say Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Right? Nitai and Gaur. Vrajendra Nandana Sachishuta Hoilo Shai Balram Hoilo Nitai. Narottam Das Thakur says that the son of Nanda Maharaj, Vrajendra Nandana Sachishuta Hoilo Shai, he appeared as the son of Sachi Mata in West Bengal about 535 years ago, who is known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vrajendra Nandana Sachi Shuta Hoilo Shai Balaram Hoilo Nitai. And his brother Balram, Krishna's brother Balram, he appeared to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastimes. He appeared as Nitai. Last week was the appearance of Lord Balram. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself teaching us about his own pure devotion, how to become a devotee. And the topmost devotee of Krishna is none other than Sri Radha, Radharani. So when he finally obtains the mood of Radharani, 12 years he locked himself up in the Gambira in Jagannath Puri. That is why Jagannath Puri, by the mercy of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it is known as Viyogini. It is the Kshetra or the place where Krishna feels the highest separation. That is why Lord Jagannath, if you see, his eyes are big, large, in shock. His jaw has dropped. He is frozen. His arms have retracted. His legs have retracted. Same thing with the other two siblings, Subhadra Devi and Balram. Why is that? Sometimes when we hear something very shocking, sometimes when we hear news about a place or news about a certain thing that is so shocking, what happens to us? We are speechless. Sometimes when we get certain news, sometimes good or bad, we cannot say anything. What will happen? Huh? Just the gesture. And that gesture that we see on Lord Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra Devi is separation from Vrindavan Dham. Please try to understand some of the important principles that we are discussing. And that is the reason why we have Rath Yatra. Rath Yatra is happening from where? From Kurukshetra to Vrindavan, where the gopis and the Vrajvasis of Vrindavan, they taking Krishna who wants to go back to Dwarka. No. The horses are not allowed to be connected to the chariot. As you see, there's a chariot right behind us, behind you all here. And there are no horses. And can you imagine if Krishna Dwarkadish is about to set foot on it and the charioteer is about to take the horses and tie them, connect them to the chariot, but the Vrajvasis did not allow that. What they did is, enough, Krishna, now it's time for you to come back to Vrindavan. And when we pull the Rath Yatra with the ropes, we are playing the role of Vrajvasis, taking Krishna back to where he wants to be the most. Just like, can you imagine, supposing, just giving a very simple material example, you have a college going child, and for the last several months or for the last couple birthdays, he's been asking his father and mother, Mom, Dad, I need this birthday, I need a car, a good car for me. Please give it to me. And they said, no, you're not getting a car. You're too young, this, that. But suddenly they surprise him. And here are the keys of your new car. And the kid is going to be shocked. Really? Mom, Dad? He wanted it and he got it. Similarly, Krishna, who has gone to Dwarka, because Krishna, when he was 12 or 13 years old, Kansa had sent who? Akrur to Vrindavan. He had made a plot to kill Krishna Balram. And he called them to a wrestling match to Mathura. Krishna Balram fights many of his demons, and Krishna eventually kills Kansa. He releases his parents from the jail, Vasudeva, Devaki, and even his grandfather. And later on, because Kansa was killed by Krishna, Kansa's father-in-law Jarasan was extremely upset and angry, so he attacked Mathura 18 times. And 18 times he was defeated and sent back. But because the Mathuravasis were always anxious due to war, Krishna decided to build a city in the water. And that city where nobody could come unwanted. And that city was known as Dwarka. But Krishna had left Vrindavan over 125 years of separation. And when they see them in Kurukshetra, when they came on a very specific, special day during Surya Grahan, during the solar eclipse to take a bath, everybody from all over Bharatvarsh, they came, including the Vrajvasis, they came from Vrindavan to Kurukshetra. And when they saw Krishna taking a bath in the Ramrita Kunda, in that special pond on their solar eclipse day, and when they were all ready to go back, they said, no, come on, let's go back to Vrindavan. That is the love of Vrindavan, and that is where Krishna wants to be. And if you give somebody what they want, they are the most happiest. And that is why Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Anybody who assists Lord Jagannath in taking him to Vrindavan, or at least that is the bhav within the heart, that Lord Jagannath is most pleased, because you are giving them or giving him what he wants. And that is true seva. What is the definition of pure bhakti? Naradji in the Narad Bhakti Stotra, somebody asked Naradji, can you define what is pure bhakti? So he says, everybody can kindly repeat this verse. It's an auspicious day and we can all, make our day very successful. Please repeat. Anya abhilashita. Loudly, please. Anya abhilashita. Shunya. Jnana. Karma. Anavritam. Anukulyena. Krishna. Anushilanam. Tad. Bhakti. Uttam. So what is Uttam Bhakti? Anya abhilashita shunya. We should not have any material desires. Zero. Shunya. Anya abhilashita shunya. Jnana karma anavritam. Not even for knowledge or empirical knowledge, jnana and karma. Most people, we are under the impression, unless one reads His Divine Grace's Bhagavad Gita as it is, there are 700 other versions of the Bhagavad Gita, and even today we find that the most sublime message that is being portrayed in India is karma. That is not what Krishna really is impressed by. Karma Yoga is in the 3rd chapter, and Bhakti Yoga is sandwiched in between, and the highest action that Arjun took by fighting in the battlefield of Kurukshetra is out of pure bhakti, not out of duty that he is a Kshatriya soldier. Krishna tried to convince him that yes, you are a Kshatriya, it is your karma, it is your duty to fight and not run away from the battlefield. But that is not the real reason, and that is not the real reason finally when Arjun fought. Nashtamo smriti labda tvat prasadat maya achyuta gata sandeha sthito asmi karishye vachanam tava. After Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, Arjun said, Nashtamo, my illusion has been removed. Smriti labda, I have established my intelligence. Tvat prasadat maya achyuta, by your mercy, O Achyut, O Krishna. Gata sandeha, all doubts have been eradicated. Sthito asmi, now I am established in pure devotional service. Karishye vachanam tava, I will do exactly as you say. You want me to fight with my grandsire Bhishma Dev? I will do that. You want me to fight with my own Guru Dronacharya? I will to fight with our Kul Guru Kripacharya, I will do that. You want me to fight with all my cousins that are assembled on this battlefield of Kurukshetra? I am prepared to do that. Nashtamo smriti labda tvat prasadat maya chudgata sandeha sthito asmi karishye vachanam tava. It is whatever you desire, I am ready to do. And he acted on the platform of pure bhakti, not on karma yoga. It's a very important point that we need to take home. So similarly, Naradji says, and which Rupa Goswami, our 6th Goswami, is one of the topmost. He has taken this verse from Narad Bhakti Sutra and put it in the Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. Anya Abhilashita Shunya, we should be bereft of any zero material desires, not even for karma and jnana. Then what should we do? Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Tad Bhakti Uttam. Whatever pleases Krishna, those activities we must perform. And that activity is considered Uttam Bhakti. There are different kinds of bhakti. There is Gyan Mishra Bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti. Somebody wants to do bhakti because they want some material things. But that is not Shuddha Bhakti. In Sanatana Dharma, we have this famous bhajan, which most of you all are familiar. Most Hindu temples sing this. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Garadana Ave, Sukha Sampati Ave. That has been composed by some Mayavadi. We don't even understand Shuddha Bhakti is not dependent on Ghar Sukha Sampati Ave. Shuddha Bhakti is dependent on whatever pleases you, my dear Krishna. Even if at the extent of me going through a lot of trials and tribulations, Thakur Bhakti Vinod says in one bhajan, who is the Param Gurudev of Srila Prabhupada, he says, Tomara Sevai, is this in Tomara Sevai, Kashta Jadi Hoy, Shaito Parama Sukha. In your service, even if I have to go through the most difficult situations, For me, I will consider that as the highest bliss. How many of us have that kind of understanding about bhakti? So that is Anukulina Krishna Anushilanam Tad Bhakti Ruttam. And it was Anukul to Krishna that he come as soon as possible, and Naradji was an instrument to incite Kansa because it was his promise in the Bhagavad Gita. What was that promise? We all know that famous shloka. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya. Right? Paritranam sadhunam vinashayati dushkatam dharma sansthapakaya sambhavami yuge yuge. As much as eager are the devotees to see Krishna, Krishna is also eager to see his devotees. And somebody had to ignite that action that will bring Krishna faster. So the 6 sons of Devaki that were created, it is said that they were the 6 different avarices. They were in the womb of Devaki, like Kam, Krodh, Moh, Matsarya, anger, lust, greed, the 6 different avarices that are there, etc. And whenever, before the Lord comes, the Guru comes and cleanses the womb, and Lord Balram came as the 7th child. And it appeared that Mother Devaki had a miscarriage, but on the order of Krishna, she had actually ordered Yogamaya to transfer Balram, who was in her womb, the 7th child, to Gokul, to the womb of Rohini. Rohini Mata or Rohini Devi was one of the wives of Vasudeva, who was staying under the protection of Nanda Maharaj in Gokul. So because by force the womb was attracted to the womb, from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb, his name was known as Sankarshan. So one of the names of Lord Balaram is known as Sankarshan. And Sankarshan or Lord Balaram is the Adi Guru. He is the source of all Sadgurus. And Sadguru is the one who cleans everybody. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So the Guru comes, he cleanses the womb, making it ready for the appearance of Sri Krishna. So in Mathura, when Krishna finally appeared, he appeared as the 4-armed Vishnu, Narayana form. Devaki and Vasudeva started offering prayers because they knew he is Bhagwan. And then suddenly, out of motherly love and fatherly love, Vasudeva Devi, please, you become like a little small child. Because if Kans knows that Swayam Narayan has appeared, he will come with his army trying to hurt you. Of course, nobody can hurt on Narayan, but it is the parental love. No matter how strong your child may become or how healthy he may be, but at the same time, if there is little danger, you will say, hey, what are you doing? Be careful, right? You know nothing is going to happen to him. He might be the best army soldier, but at home when he comes and if even a small thing happens, hey, be careful. Mother is immediately going to shout, be careful, out of love, out of Vatsalya Bhav. And he complies with that and he becomes the 2-armed Krishna. And at that time, out of the arrangement of Yogamaya, everybody falls asleep. There is torrential rain at the Rohini Nakshatra, which is tonight, about 5,000 years ago. And all the gates of the jail or the dungeon, they start opening one after another. The soldiers fall asleep. And Vasudev picks up a little basket that is there in the jail and puts baby Krishna in it and walks outside through the open gates, walks outside Kansa's palace, and it's raining, lots of rain. It is the month of Shravan, right? The rainy season. And to protect Krishna and Vasudev as father and Krishna as brother, Lord Balram or Sankarshan appears as Seshnag and he covers them. And Vasudev walks towards the Jamuna because Gokul is across from Mathura, across the Jamuna. And when the Jamuna he goes, the Jamuna is very much in turbulence, lots of waves, lots of heavy winds, huge waves in the Jamuna, and a big storm. And Vasudevji entered the waters. First, the water was up to his knees, then up to his belly, up to his chest, up to his neck, and the water kept on rising and rising. And Krishna simply glances at the Jamuna. And then Jamuna very obediently parts ways so that Vasudev will cross easily. Now, our Rasik Acharyas have given a very nice commentary. Why did Jamuna almost drown Vasudev? Because the water had reached almost to his nose. She was so excited because Jamuna is one of the consorts of Krishna, like Radhaji is a consort, Lakshmi Devi is a consort, Rukmini Devi is a consort, Patrani. So there are 4 Patranis of Krishna. One of them is Jamuna Devi. And Krishna's little toe was hanging outside the basket. She wanted to touch the lotus feet of Krishna, of her husband. And she was so excited that she forgot that she would almost be her father-in-law. So Krishna and Yogamaya, they combined, they told her, take it easy. Excitement. But in that, there is a leela that is going to happen. Krishna has to go, Krishna jinka naam hai, Gokul jinka dhaam hai. ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है. He has to be taken. So now we will have Aarti. We will continue this katha at 1 p.m. right after Aarti. Please don't forget to assemble. Hare Krishna.